Good evening, everybody. How are you guys all doing today? So it's me. I'm Philicon. How's it going, viewers? I just wanted to thank you guys for all your love and your support that you've given me over the past few months, especially during these crisis moments of mine. But what I've learned from this is that I shouldn't really be acknowledging people, first of all, and secondly, security is extremely important. And I also wanted to be extremely transparent with you guys. That's why I showed you guys my setup, first of all, right? And secondly, I would like to start streaming with an actual camera so you guys can see who I am and what I am about. This way, it also gains a lot more trust, right? If you guys can see who I am, it'll give you a better gauge of the kind of person that you're actually listening to or taking advice from down the road or gaining a different perspective from. I like to stream in the dark, as you guys can see. This is me. I usually have a ponytail. My hair is extremely long and it's actually very soft as well. I like it very soft because people like to play with my hair, put it that way. So you guys can look at me for who I am. Do I sound like I'm psychotic? Do I sound like I have a drug problem? Do I look like I'm an alcoholic or anything like that? I'm no alcoholic, guys, but I definitely will enjoy the beer here and there, especially late at night as well. So cheers to everybody that supported me. You guys will have my unwavering support to support you guys down the road, and I'll try my absolute best to ignore the people that are causing conflict, right? I think that if you let all the negativity get to you, unfortunately, it could sometimes really get to you and affect the way you trade. And another promise I can make to you guys is that I'll be much more professional. I don't plan whatsoever to retaliate or cause conflict in the community, because the ultimate goal is to actually grow it. And if you want to grow it, then the best thing that you can actually do is just to remain neutral while avoiding conflict. Not only that, there's some publications out there that will actually write horrible things about me. But what I can acknowledge is that, you know, I'm not saying I'm a bear or a wolf, but a bear or a wolf, they usually do not acknowledge tiny little wasps. And that's all that these people are. They're nothing but wasps who are trying to become more than that. So that's kind of a weird analogy, but that's, I guess, the best way to put it that way. So I hope you guys appreciate this, because I definitely appreciate you guys, and I want to show you who I am, and you guys can also get a really good gauge. So this is my setup. I showed you guys it today already. I've got a pretty cool setup here. These doors right behind me, it leads to a gigantic loft area behind me here. So this is kind of my working area where I have about 450 square feet of beautiful office space that I'll give you guys a tour of sometime down the road as well. So let's get into this technical analysis. But before I do, I just want to show you guys a quick story, okay? So today, like, some of the biggest struggles that I've had today, I've had some major struggles. And I think only an Asian person would actually understand this struggle right here, okay? First of all, I was eating sausages today with rice, okay? And if you're Asian, you'll understand this. How do you eat proportionally so that you do not have more sausage than rice at the end, or more rice than sausage? Because if you have more of one than the other, it's honestly really difficult, right, to eat at the end. So I was trying really hard to divvy up my portions of sausage and rice today that I was eating. Unfortunately, at the end, I actually ended up with way more sausage than rice, which was really, really disheartening, because you know, you don't want to eat just sausage at the end. You want to make sure you have a very proportional amount to eat the last leftover of your sausage that you have with rice. So when I found out that I had no more rice left, right, and I didn't make enough either, unfortunately, I just ended up throwing away the sausage, and yeah, it wasn't really a good time. And the second thing is, like, when I woke up this morning, right, I touched my face just like this, and I'm like, whoa, I've got stubbles. This is amazing. And only an Asian person would understand this as well, that the struggle of growing facial hair is actually redonkulous, okay? You've got to try for months on end. So when I woke up today, I had stubbles here, so I'm like, yes, I finally get to shave after a month of growing it out. Okay, I go to the bathroom and I try to shave, and I realize I have a gigantic pimple right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a really big pimple right there, okay? So I couldn't shave around that area because it hurt so freaking much, right? So I was shaving around it, you know, shaving around it, but there was like 2 or 3 tiny little stubbles that were left. So unfortunately, it didn't look proportional or good in any way. So what I did was I actually grabbed tweezers, and I unfortunately had to pluck around where I had the pimple. And I kid you not, I was crying like a little baby by the end. And by the third little stubble that I plucked out, It's the most painful thing in the world. If you guys want to actually relate to my pain, go grab some tweezers, go put it up your nose, and try to pull one out, okay? That is the pain that I had to actually deal with. And only an Asian person would know the struggle that I had to go through there. So guys, keep in mind, okay? Have a lot of sympathy for Asians when they run out of rice and all that they have left is the other portion of their food to eat, or the other way around. As an Asian person, I really recommend that you guys try your best, and I've been doing it since I was really young as well, to try to divvy up my portions to make sure I don't have one or the other more than the other, right? So I just thought I'd tell you about some of the most difficult hardships that I actually had to endure today, and it was really disheartening. But guys, I'm still here. You know, I'm still here. It's okay. I made it through my little phase there, right, of eating accordingly and also shaving. I'll let you guys know about my next shaving experience in about a month from now, when all the hair is actually going to come back. But as it stands right now, an Asian person, they have a lot of trouble, guys, growing hair. You know, unfortunately, that's just a matter of the fact. So let's get into this Elliot wave count. I really hope that my microphone is a lot better right now, because I'll be uploading the video either way, okay? All right, so let's get into an Elliot wave count. So this is how my screen basically looks. On my left monitor, as you guys know, I have two 32-inch curved Samsung 1080p monitors. 4K, to me, it wasn't really necessary in any way to get it. So I was like, you know what, why not just get these 1080p monitors? It'll actually be absolutely more than sufficient. And because it's more than sufficient, I don't really need anything more than that for these setups. After you go through many different setups throughout the years, you kind of figure out very, very quickly what you need and what you don't need. Okay, I'm just going to lower this camera a little bit just to give you guys a better view, because it's my first time setting everything up. So I just want to give you guys kind of an idea of how everything looks. And you guys are probably going to end up asking how I look with my hair down. So I'm just going to take it out here for you guys just to show you. My hair is always incredibly long. It's usually slicked back, as you guys can see how long it is, right? It's super duper long, but it takes a lot of work. Whenever I do go out, I actually put in about 30 minutes into my hair just to, you know, make it look really nice there. But yeah, I just want to give you guys actually an idea of how I look as well. I think I'm pretty cool looking. Well, only because my mom tells me so, but I'm just gonna put on my headphones here, so don't mind how it actually ends up looking. So there you go. That's really funny when it's actually not done up, but it's okay. I'm not really embarrassed to show you guys who I am and what kind of character I am. I think it's long overdue. So let's take a look at this coin right now, Bitcoin, from multiple perspectives. Let's take a look at it from a daily chart perspective first of all, where we talked about the death cross happening here already, right? Which was fairly substantial, in my opinion. We haven't had any type of major sell-off yet. So if we look at a death cross, for example, for the people that don't know, a death cross refers to the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA actually crossing over. So it has crossed over right here. And if you guys actually got yourselves into a position to buy around the $200 level, which was all the way back in 2015, you actually would have had no reason to sell it whatsoever until about now. And the reason why you would take your profit here is because perhaps this death cross right here would not have even happened. So if it didn't even happen, then we ended up skyrocketing to 35K there. Well, it would have saved you guys a lot of time and money, right? So using a golden crossover or golden crossover over here. A golden crossover is the opposite of a death cross, all right? So a death cross is when the 200 moving average ends up being on top of the 55 moving average. And now a golden crossover is when the 200 moving average ends up supporting below the 55 moving average right here, as you guys can see, right? So just to get some things out of the way there. So on a daily chart, we ended up finishing the day with kind of a bullish pattern, in my opinion, but we have to also acknowledge that the 24-hour volume is it's horrendous right now. I'm just going to CoinMarketCap on my other computers here, and we're going to take a look at that here together, guys. All right, so we take a look at CoinMarketCap here, and what we see right, wow, it's so bright right now. It's like, wow, it's so bright. Okay, anyways, so and I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm wearing a sweater right now because it's still really cold here in Manitoba. And in Manitoba, we actually still have snow. In fact, it was snowing earlier today, even though it's already April 10th. Sometimes we even get snow in May. We've even had snow in June before as well, so believe it or not. So if we take a look at the market cap, we're at about $265 billion. Now, it was very obvious we were going to drop well below the $300 billion market cap over there. So if we look at Bitcoin, of course, it's still ranked number 1 here. Ethereum will most likely be 2 for a very long time. Ripple will usually be 3. Bitcoin Cash will usually be 4. And then we always have Litecoin number 5, and then Litecoin, EOS, and Cardano are usually fighting between ranked 5, 6, and 7. But Litecoin is actually one of the more stable ones in my opinion, and EOS as well. Stellar has certainly dropped. We've had some green days overall in the market over here. Of course, some coins are taking much heavier hits than other ones, such as Lisk as well, Bitcoin Gold, Verge, and also Bitcoin or Binance Coin as well here. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and see how it's trending for the 24-hour volume. What I always recommend for people to do is to always take a look at the 24-hour volume. Excuse me, guys. My hair is kind of bothering me right now, so just don't mind if I do this in front of you guys, all right? Yeah, I don't want to pause the video because it takes too long to join it and stuff, so I need to put my hair in a ponytail because, I don't like the way it is sometimes. I just want to show you guys how I actually look. So once again, I need you guys to understand who I am and what I actually look like. And I'm a very clean type of person, right? I maintain myself in a fairly normal type of way. I'm definitely not in some immature clothes or et cetera, et cetera. It just happens to be very late at night. I'm not wearing a dress shirt, but I can guarantee you guys that the majority of the times when I actually do stream, you guys will see me wearing a dress shirt over there. Okay, this is a lot better. Usually mine, it's actually really high up, and some people just end up, calling a pineapple over there. I'm a pretty skinny guy. I'm 5'9", but I'm 145 pounds. So not really the heaviest guy. And someone asked me earlier as well, what kind of chair do I have? I have a Global Roma 1905 chair. I'll show you guys the chair that I have. And if you guys are interested in getting a chair or anything, I definitely recommend that you guys take a look at the Global Roma series. And I have a 1907 chair right here. So it's a beautiful chair. It unfortunately costs an arm and a leg. It costs about $900 for it. But it's incredibly stable, it's adjustable, it uses pneumatic air. It's got really good back support as well with adjustable armrests. It's a very professional series that usually caters to businesses. So I recommend taking a look at this chair if it's something you guys are interested in. So anyways, well, not only this chair, but the particular Global series as well. They're very high-end chairs. So anyways, let's take a look at the market cap here. We see for the past 3 days, it's actually been trending right between, $4.8 billion 24-hour volume and about $4.2 billion. And right now we're averaging about $4.3 billion already, which is pretty decent, right? A lot of coins are having green. So I want to offer you guys an Elliot wave count today that it could be bullish and could be bearish as well. We look on the 4-hour chart, and what we see very clearly is that we are on a massive downtrend still, okay? On the 4-hour chart, a lot of people ended up taking profit there during this particular death cross. We can actually consider the death cross on multiple different time frames. It doesn't always have to be on the daily chart, right? Some people assume and play the death cross on multiple different time frames, like myself as well, whether I'm a day trader or a swing trader or a long-term holder, death cross and golden crossovers can be acknowledged on multiple time frames. We still see a massive downtrend where we cannot even break above, for example, this right here, which is the 21 EMA. On a 3-hour time frame, massive downtrend as well. 2-hour time frame, we are on a massive downtrend. On a 1-hour time frame, we are on a massive downtrend. What we see right here is that we've actually tried to break above the 100 EMA here around April 4th, failed. We tried to break above the 200 EMA again, failed. 45-hour chart right here. We're actually trending and sandwiched right in between I keep saying 100, but I mean the 200. So I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. Usually this white line of mine is actually the 100 moving average. So right here, we're sandwiched between the 55 EMA and the 200 EMA. On the 30-minute chart, what we see is multiple break attempts to get above the 200 EMA. And the reason why these EMAs are really important is because they can act, right? They can act as a support and as a resistance. So we have to make sure that we actually acknowledge them, because they can be incredibly powerful indicators that can show us where some of the momentum is or isn't, right? So on the 15-minute chart, we're just hovering sideways right here. Okay, I'm just going to get my toolbar up here. Yeah, there we go. Here's my toolbar. Perfect. If you guys don't know, you can actually click on TradingView here, and you can star a lot of these things, okay? And when you star them, they can actually be put on a toolbar there, just for convenience. And what we see here is since April, pretty much 10 o'clock this morning. Was that this morning? Yeah, 10 o'clock this morning over here. It's actually been in a massive sideways trend over here. There's no indication of it actually going up or down right now. It's pure sideways. In fact, we've made multiple break attempts to try to break above around 6,880 and about $6,900, but we just could not break above it. In fact, this was acting as a fairly decent support. If you guys saw from my tweet just a while ago, right? This was acting as a fairly you know, if we look at it that way, okay, or if we look at it perhaps, you know, something like that over here, what we see is it completely disrespected that support and then broke through it. So now that we've got more relevant points, we can actually consider some of these regions right here a support, where you would consider this a bull trapped region, okay? And you can also see that this sloped support line right now is actually intersecting with the 200 and also the 55 moving average. So what we see is it's confining to this particular point right here. Wouldn't you guys agree? Now, is this an actual ascending triangle? Okay, is it an ascending triangle where it's going to break above 68.80 to about $6,900? If it does break above there, great. We might actually get some sort of bullish momentum. Now, if we take a look at here as well and respect this major support, okay, that is one major region right there. Another major region is right over here as well, okay? So let's actually draw this out right here. And what we notice is this could actually be considered a descending triangle, right? So if you consider this a descending triangle, all right, let's draw this as one region right here, where we've had multiple touches, one touch there and a few over here. And now we're going to draw another particular region here as well, all right? Let's draw right here, the pink one, as one region as well. So what we're hoping for the bulls is that this is actually going to break out of here, guys. And if we looked at it in a very small time frame, what we could have seen was a an ascending triangle, right? If it does break out of there, what I see is a possible break to about $7,200, maybe $7,000 range. Now that's a likely case. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But if we break above $6,900, there's a very likely case that we'll rally to $7,250. Now, of course, the worst case scenario is that we simply just test the 6,000 range again. And the key number for us to break below is this right here at the $6,425, right? So that's a likely chance as well. I'm taking this particular candle right here and the low. If you guys look right here, that low right there, okay, that low right. I'm putting on my monitor and you guys don't see that. I still have to get used to this streaming on a camera kind of thing. Usually I wear glasses, just so you guys know, but some days I wear contacts as well. It just depends on my mood. So this candle right here is $6,200 range, right? Right there that you guys see. So if we break below, or sorry, 6,425. If we break below there, easy target. We're going to be simply testing. It's going to free fall down to this region right there. So that's one way to look at it. Now let's do an Elliott wave count. You guys are probably all dying for this, I would imagine. Okay, the way that I have been counting this thus far is probably like this. I would end up calling this an ABC, just like that over here. Okay. Let's change this degree of ours. If you guys don't know how to change your degree, just simply double click on it and it opens up a different time frame or a degree right there, and you can label it as much as you like here by choosing different ones as well, like this, okay? Let's just go to a minuet right here just to keep it consistent and fairly easy. And the way that I originally drew this was because ABC ended there, that's not my W, and now this is my X right here. right? That we ended up getting an ABC down in here as well. So every time we get an X, what we end up getting is another ABC type of structure that comes down like that. And yeah, this is called a double zigzag. You guys can actually see it over here on the left-hand side. Go down to your double Elliott wave combo, and that's what it's called, a double zigzag. Now, what I consider this is pretty much a failed X attempt right here. Because if you guys actually take a look at this, okay, let's just get rid of this here. Let's go to triple Elliott wave combo now. If we call this a triple Elliott wave combo, it would also make entire sense, because this one right here, actually let me just get this back in here. This one right here, okay, is a failed fifth wave, right? It didn't actually make 5 particular waves. So now what we're looking for, guys, is an ABC completion, right? So this is the bearish scenario right here. And unfortunately, all signs are pointing to something ridiculous, in my opinion. Hopefully we don't actually get there. So let's say we end up taking Fibonacci right now. Where's my Fibonacci tool? It's been so long that I can't even remember where it is sometimes. Okay, so let's say we end up taking Fibonacci right here, right? All signs, guys, are you know, set. If you guys remember that I've been saying, right? I've been saying that 786 is a very relevant number right now. It's kind of the flavor of the month or the year so far. So the bearish scenario, guys, is right here where we're looking for some sort of ABC, right? We counted this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves coming down, and then we counted this as a wave up there, right? And then we counted this right here as a third wave coming down. So a lot of people ended up calling this right here an ABC. Okay, take a look right here. People ended up calling this an ABC. Great. This is now a running flat, okay? Which made the 3 waves for that particular structure. But there's also the 3 waves coming down like that. Now, I don't know how the timeline. I don't do time analysis. But if this were the actual count right here, where I'm just gonna make this a different degree to keep it easier. I forgot my chapstick. My lips are getting a little bit chapped. I really hope that my microphone is sufficient. I apologize if it's really bad. It's still my first time tuning it, so I appreciate your guys' patience, okay? So we call this here an 11 wave structure now, okay? Let's just say we ended up making this right here with no waves. What we end up calling this is an 11 wave structure because it's now a WXYZ type of pattern, right? So we are actually getting a WXYZ, and Z is as far as we can go before an actual impulse wave begins. So if you guys notice here now, if you count with me, okay, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, right? So this is now our 11 wave count, right? So once we finish this 11 wave count, then we should be finished tactically. So this was the flat that it ended up making, the 1, 2, and 3, right? And we've counted all this so many times. So now what we're trying to count, which is actually very difficult in my opinion right now, okay? Very difficult to count this right here. And there's so many different variations right now. And the best way that I can count this to my knowledge is something like this. Okay, this is the 5th wave right there, or the 3rd wave coming down. And I've counted it all ahead of time already. So guys, this is now one of the bearish counts that I have, all right? Now, let's say that this actually finished right here and it created like a double bottom. Well, this could be an actual count right here, okay, right there. And now this could be Z, where this is finished already. And now we are actually going to start an impulse wave. So if we counted this right here as our WXYZ that's finished, then this should technically be the first wave that's beginning right now, despite how choppy it is. And we should get higher highs, right? So until we actually break, guys, until we actually break $6,425 range, like right around here, okay, that we cannot really assume anything other than that this could possibly be the finished wave already. But if that's not the finished wave, then it's very simple, okay? It's very, very simple to me. If that's not the finished wave there, then we're still gonna basically end up getting 5 waves coming down there, something like that. And we're gonna end up getting to, like that's my target over here, okay? We're gonna end up getting to, where was it here? 4,250 range. So this is unfortunately the bearish scenario. So the only way for me to validate this is simple. As soon as we break below the $7,425 range, that is exactly where it's going to validate my count that we could actually get to the 4,250 range. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Once again, if we break below $7,425 range, guys, I really do believe we're going to test the 6K range. And once we test this 6K range, guys, we're going to most likely stay there for a few more weeks or just hover around that region. But I don't know if there's any bullish momentum because we simply cannot stay in a very bullish zone above the 55 EMA or even the 100 or the 200 EMA for a long time. How could anybody assume that there's any type of bullish momentum right now? It's really hard to assume that, right? So I've got to make sure that I maintain my stance of neutrality right now. So if we break below 64.25, unfortunately, that's going to be my major count right there, where we're most likely going to test 6K, and then we'll end up testing 42.50 first of all. But if for some reason, right, we break above, I mean, like, let's be real, guys. If we break above this count right here, okay, if we break above many key factors over here, where we're just going to consider some of these regions like a bull trap, right? Well, there's your 7,200 range that I really need to break above, okay? Do you guys remember what I was talking about earlier, right? If we break, first of all, those two triangles that I was talking about just are acting as a support, well, we have to break this, guys. I mean, we got to break like around this line, regardless of where it is, okay? My bullish count will actually come into play, and it will disregard my bearish count if and only if this ends up becoming the fifth wave that has finished already, okay? So if this is actually my fifth wave that has now officially completed my ABC, if you guys remember what I'm talking about here, right? Where this is now ABC and we're actually pretty much just about to finish it. Well, if we end up uptrending, we have to break this massive red line that I'm talking about here. If we do not break this red line right here, which is now a very hard resistance, and this our red line will most likely intersect somewhere along with the white EMA, right? This white EMA is the 200 EMA that's acting as a hard resistance right now. So guys, you guys have my counts. This is now my official count. If this is the bullish count right here, then this is now officially finished already, okay? And unfortunately, I don't believe that this is going to be a bullish count. I do believe that because Bitcoin is in the year of regulation right now, and I believe that governments are heavily trying to regulate the markets to prevent people from being fraudulently taken advantage of from ICOs, right? And governments are starting to tax people as well. It was known as a non-taxable haven. And of course, that's not really fair to the government. They want to get their hands in a lot of things. A lot of people have been getting scammed. Lots of ICOs have been popping up as well. And you guys don't really want that in the market. You want a little bit more regulation and control to prevent these types of movements in the market. And it's also, Bitcoin's got its reputation, right? It's got its reputation of, for example, being a place to launder money or where criminal activity can happen as well. So I do believe that it's in a lot of mainstream media's not mainstream media, but in investment banks as well, because we have to understand supply and demand, and that it's a very scarce resource, just like gold. And because it's a scarce resource, there's only a finite amount of Bitcoin that are available in the world. So does it make sense for mainstream media to also FUD? Because they have the backing of a lot of investment banks to drive down prices even lower, to get and accumulate as many Bitcoin as humanly possible. That makes a lot of sense to me. It's also in our best interest as well when you think about it like that. Let's say you only had $20,000 to play with. It's in your best interest to be able to get, for example, 5 Bitcoin and ride that thing to 35K, right? That makes a lot of sense as well, in my opinion, for the long haul. So personally, unfortunately, you guys don't want to hear me say this, but I'm actually looking for a bearish scenario. I want a bearish scenario because I want to be able to get as many Bitcoin as possible. I'm not really back into trading or anything yet. I'm still setting up a lot of security, etc. But I'm kind of just hanging tight like how most people are. And right now, what I would advise to people is that it's simply a no trade zone. For the heavy investors, I'm sure with certainty that they're waiting to break this right here, guys. Do you see it? They're waiting to break this red line. And because they want some sort of confirmation of an uptrend, what we want, guys, is we want at least, on a 30-minute, a golden crossover that will hopefully cascade over to the 1 hour. And then, everything will look great. It'll cascade over to the 3 hour, right? Or sorry, the 2 hour perhaps, where we get some sort of golden crossover. And then we finally just skyrocket and use this region right here as a launch pad to break into higher highs. But until we actually get some sort of golden crossover on a higher zone right now, or higher time frame, it's very hard to assume that we are in any type of bullish trend. So we have to make sure that we stay very cautious, guys. Please stay extremely cautious, because that's the best thing that I can advise. If you guys are actually hoping to enter a position right now, make sure that you are 100% sticking to your stop loss. But right now, guys, it's honestly pure guessing, right? It's pure guessing which way the market is going to go. We have to understand that we're nothing but tiny little fish and minnow in an ocean full of sharks and whales. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly am not playing with 20, 50, $100 million, right? And a lot of people with a lot of money, guys, are controlling the markets. And all that we can do is try to catch some of the signals that they give us and some of these tiny little hints, and then we ride the wave with them and add more strength onto that particular side, whether it's bear or bull. So as it stands, guys, if we break above, around 7,250 range and break out of this major resistance right here, this red line, great. We're going to actually see some great new highs. But until then, guys, I'm more bearish right now. Now make sure you guys are also watching out, okay? I apologize if I'm licking my lips. My lips are a little bit dry right now. It's incredibly dry in the city still. So hopefully in a few more weeks, we're going to get much nicer weather, because I would love to start hitting my cottage again. That'd be beautiful. So 7,425 range right here, okay? If we break below that, then it's going to validate my count. It's simply going to validate my count, where this is actually going to extend to possibly over here, like that. Unfortunately, there's many things to look forward to right now. And one of the things is a bearish scenario to accumulate as much Bitcoin as we can, as cheap as we can, before a major bull run happens. I do believe that we are going to get a very big bull run this year, guys, and I stand by my prediction of $35,000. It's just a matter of time until we get there. So anyways, I just want to give you guys a quick update with where I stand on Bitcoin, and actually give you an Elliot wave count as well. And I really hope that you guys have actually enjoyed my first video of streaming with the camera here. I apologize. Let me just turn on the light so you guys actually get a better idea of how I look, because I want to be presentable to you. Okay, give me a second. There you go. There, just to give you guys, I'm gonna get like a really cool backdrop over here for this door, like a big painting or some graph right there, and also right there. So you guys are gonna have some sort of background. I'm not gonna get a green screen, guys. That's just not me. I'm not gonna get a green screen. I'm gonna make this back area look really cool for you guys as well. I'm gonna get some awesome lighting. It's going to be very Bitcoin and cryptocurrency oriented. So once again, thank you very much for all your love and your support that you guys have given me. I really appreciate that. I really hope that you guys continue to support me further, because your loyalty towards me, it's been very, very much so appreciated. So thank you very much for your commitment, and I will be sure to reciprocate this type of loyalty towards my viewers as well, because I really do appreciate you guys being here for me, okay? So thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys sometime in the future. Bye now. Thank you.